welcome back to the Captain's Quadrant and this very special episode of the No, 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 no. We are not in agony this week, folks. We are in ecstasy. Yes. All the colors have turned from a dark and brutal red to a bright and beautiful multiverse of colors. I am so excited to bring this episode of the Ecstasy booth because we are doing something that's probably one of my favorite and many of our favorite Deep Space Nine episodes, and that's In the Pale Moonlight, as you saw by the thumbnail and why you clicked on this. I am so honored to always have my co-host extraordinaire, who's got a really spiffy hat this week. I love it.
I'm a washing merch.
Oh, look at that! And a shirt. Look at that. We're twinning.
Twinsies!
Twinsies! Yes. Jason Roy Gaston.
I'm so ready to talk about this because it's a little known fact. The Agony booth was actually a very popular club back in the 80s. The Ecstasy booth.
I didn't know.
Wow, I had a great joke and I just screwed it up right there, right off the bat. Good night, everybody.
And of course, we are overjoyed to have the amazing sci-fi sister herself, Subrina. Thank you so much for joining us in the Captain's Quadrant. How are you?
Hey, whoop, whoop. I am fine. I'm fine. I'm totally excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And from the amazing world of TikTok, who does so many wonderful lives, including gaming and so many other streaming there on TikTok, the wonderful Maya Mama herself.
Hello. Hello. I'm so excited to talk about Star Trek. It's my favorite thing to do in the whole world.
Yeah, likewise. And hopefully Jason comes back because he has to read the synopsis. So Jason, if you please.
I'm back. Hello.
All right. Excellent. So I changed the font this week for you.
Normally you have to say my name 3 times before I appear, but I'm making a special exception today.
He thinks he's a genie.
Yeah, there we go.
Juice, but yes.
All right, here we go. The synopsis of Star Trek Deep Space Nine in the Pale Moonlight.
I would make an amazing genie, though. I'm just saying. Sitting there all shirtless and blue and just kind of jiggling everywhere. It'd be amazing. Star Trek Deep Space Nine in the Pale Moonlight. In an attempt to goad the Romulans into war with the Dominion, Sisko enlists Garrick to help him create false evidence of a plot to invade Romulus.
Ooh.
That font is much better. Thank you.
That's all you got to say.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's hop into it. Yeah.
I keep looking. I'm like, did anything slip through that I didn't notice before? But no, he's
no Captain's Picard there.
I'm assuming they used a lot of makeup tape.
Yes, probably.
No, they were. He was much younger back then, but he was still kind of elderly, and they were low swinging. I'm just saying.
Oh
my!
Wow.
Yes, that's the way to start it off. All right, so we're gonna go with Subrina. Please, what did we just watch in this episode of The Pale Moonlight?
Oh, we watched everything, but what I wanted to talk about was just the way we saw Sisko move around while he was making that speech. He had his own little move at the end, and I love that last scene.
Yes, that is an amazing. Yeah, that the toast and the.
No, he turns to the side and he crosses his leg like, my boy.
Sisko. That's right. My favorite captain of all the Star Trek captains is always going to be
Warrior Captain.
Indeed.
That's right. Yes, because you know what? Q got thrown off the station by getting punched, and we never saw Q again.
Sisko's no fun. He is no fun. He does not play games. I love it.
No games.
I've always said that if I had the choice, Sisko is my favorite captain, but I wouldn't serve under him because I don't want to die. I would serve under Janeway. Janeway's like the mommy I want whenever I'm away from home. Sisko's like that uncle who throws you into the water to teach you how to swim.
Oh, wow.
A capable commander, one of the best characters we've ever seen, but no, I'm afraid of him.
So's Worf.
All right.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I just want to see Worf leave the office one time with like a visible urine stain. Just like, don't go in there.
Real scary.
Yeah. All right, Mama, your turn.
I think that what we saw was just the imaginary musings of a man like thinking about what he has done. I don't think that what happened in this episode is actually what happened. I think that this was his memory, because like this whole time, like, who's he talking to? He's talking to his memory. He's doing this big like story of what happened. He's trying to make sense of all of this chaos. And I don't really think it was I think the truth is more complicated. I think we make up our own truth, and that this was Sisko demonizing himself, taking way too much responsibility for himself, and no way did anyone ever say it's a fake like that. That's a false memory. So also, why do they say skipper instead of captain? Because skipper means captain. So why are they talking about the skipper? That was my only thing of going, that was weird. But yeah.
Oh, I never noticed that until you brought it up.
I did notice that. I thought that's strange, and then I just like dropped it from my memory. So, yeah.
I watched it 3.5 times today, just to make sure I didn't miss anything while I was working. So,
Jason,
I think that this episode is special because it's one of the few times that Star Trek breaks the fourth wall and has a captain directly address the audience. Because what we have here is a captain who is basically justifying the worst crimes possible and saying, I know what I did wrong, but I had to. And Avery Brooks is a fantastic actor. I'm going to put it this way. I don't think Shatner could have done it.
No.
I don't think he could have. Kate Mulgrew, maybe. Scott Bakula, no. I don't think Scott could have done it.
No.
Patrick could have definitely done it. But yeah, Avery Brooks is just...
Sonequa could have done it.
Sonequa could
have done it.
Sonequa.
Yeah.
And I think Dahl could do it. It would just be a lot more irritating. Dahl could do it.
Dahl.
Yeah, Mariner could do it. It would just be like super like funny. But yeah, I think
Freeman could do it.
Freeman could totally do it. Yeah. I just see this as one of the best actors that Star Trek has ever had, stretching his legs and just doing a fantastic job with it, directly addressing the audience and trying to justify war crimes. I use this episode all the time to talk about, and this may be getting a little off topic, I use this episode all the time to talk about the way that the fandom treats Janeway. If Janeway had done this stuff, they would be crucifying her. But
absolutely.
Sisko does, in my opinion, way worse than Janeway ever did. And everybody's like, what a great episode. What a great captain.
You know what?
I'm just going to say, if Sisko had killed Tuvix, he'd be applauded for it. I'm just saying.
What were you saying, Sabrina?
I said Sisko had, Starfleet approval to do it, which I thought was bizarre. So let's run through this. He takes it up the chain according to his memory, as you so aptly put it. Is that really true? And he said, I'm gonna have to, ask if this is okay. So let's go make a fake thing and then try to get the Romulans coming to the war. And Starfleet says, yeah, that sounds good. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Why is Sisko even having this conversation? Why is he blaming himself? He had the okay to do it.
Okay, but let's be honest though. Sisko picked up a communicator that had no batteries in it and said, if Starfleet objects to this plan of mine, say something now.
Yeah, he was like,
listen, I'm here to tell you, Starfleet is shady, and it always has been.
Yes.
And sometimes.
I mean, look what they did to Odo.
One of those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, during this period of time, the Federation, specifically Section 31, was doing horrific medical experiments on changelings, like during this actual time period. So, like, being cool with whatever Sisko is up to seems sort of like on par. Things are different when we're at war, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You just made me think of that scene where Bashir is just telling Sisko, no, you can't have this biomimetic gel. It can be used for all kinds of terrible things. And Section 31 needs it for some reason. They won't tell me.
And it's like, we'll go right back to it. The line there is that the only people that have it is Starfleet. I'm like, okay. Here we go again. Starfleet's the only one that has the biomimetic gel. We also how we got Doll. We know how we got Doll. They got some.
That's right.
Bios.
Bashir spilled some on a petri dish
Starfleet
somewhere.
just got its fingers in everything. Yeah, Starfleet's got the gel. Starfleet said, "Go, get out of here."
Absolutely. Well
they
said.
Got their fingers in everything, and they ain't trimming their nails either.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But they've been at war for a long time, and when you go to war, all bets are off.
Absolutely.
That's right. So to me, I think this is the epitome and the height of Deep Space Nine. We've got so much going on in the writing way. We've got so many episodes that led up to this point where they need to do more to win the war. We're getting hammered. We're getting weekly kill lists. They're like having grim instead of water cooler chats, they're having grim "my friends are dead" chats. There was just so much going on in this episode. And then we've got probably one of the craziest but most beloved and kind of feared characters in Deep Space Nine, in Elam Garrick, and he is bringing in another killer to kind of segue into and get the data rod to fool the Romulans into doing this. So there's so much deceit, there's so much espionage, this murder, and we also got another treat, and that was that very cool Romulan shuttle ship. That was the first time that we've ever seen and the first and last, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've never had that little shuttle pod from the Romulan. What's that?
It did blow up. That was the only one they had.
Yeah, that was the only one that's gone.
Gone.
It went boom. It's no longer in existence. That's the end.
That's a bummer.
That's a bummer. Before we go into our next segment, I want to say hello to everybody in the room, in the chat. I want to say hello, especially to my mom, Virginia Pombo. Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Cosmic Mom Dove. Hi, Mama. Mama is probably, it's 9, so she's probably in bed. She's relaxing. And Damon J says hello, and lol, Jason. We've got a hello from the Chief, Ernesto, who is the co-host of our Doctor Who podcast over on Sisko.
Hey, Ernesto.
Yeah. And he says, Subrina! So he's very happy to see you. Damon J, of course, this is definitely the Mount Rushmore of DS9 episodes. Absolutely.
Like only I said, Phoenix on one side of Mount Rushmore doing this.
Yes, exactly. Mount Rushmore or Trek as a whole, I wholeheartedly agree.
Top 5 episode of Trek all time. Top 5.
Absolutely. The only time that Sisko plays games is in the kitchen. All right, that was cool. The writing for this episode was brilliant, and I wholeheartedly agree. I believe that what they did for this episode and how they molded this to be pushing the limits of a captain that is just such a genuinely nice guy. Don't mess with him. You'll see why. But overall, I think he's just a fantastic leader and captain. And then to see him come out and do all these things in order to mold the Romulans on their side, I thought it was just a stellar play. And then, of course, we've got excitement for Cosmic Mom. And then Claudia is here from Calling Up Justice. What's going on? And she's coming in from the West Coast. Wow. Thanks for joining us. We've got almost all of the United States. I'm on far East Coast. I'm not sure where Sabrina is. Are you West Coast too, or are you East Coast?
I'm East Coast,
Oh,
baby. This is DC,
that's what's up.
Bethesda, but DC,
All right,
Maryland.
cool, Maryland.
I'm
That's where
clear
my
on the other
family's from.
side.
Yeah, and then you're all the way on the other side, and he's in the middle of Texas. So we're like covering almost the entire United States. And then we've got VHS Jace, who does all the magic that you see here, all the fun colors and the beautiful logos with the pips and everything. What an amazing episode to be talking about. Happy Australia Day to my fellow Aussies. So I'll let Jason re-say that in his best Aussie impression.
You know he hates it when I do this.
I know. That's why I want you to do it.
That's why I do it. What an amazing episode to be talking about. Happy Australian Day to my fellow Aussies. Look out for the koalas. They've got chlamydia.
Or nor. Is that real?
Yeah. And then Mom says, I'm freaking old as dirt. The Federation doing experiments on changeling has a real life basis. Look up the Tuskegee experiments. Yes. There's Mom with our mascot Teddy on her shoulder. So
Teddy is the most evil creature in existence.
Yeah, you have to be careful with Teddy. He'll lick you all day, man. It's crazy. All right. Now, why would you do that?
There's nothing there.
Yes.
It's weird that the last two episodes of this show, we've seen the two episodes that all of our bumpers are from.
Yeah, I know. I was just telling my mom that earlier. I was like, yeah.
Because that was the last episode was
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
The evil Moo guy, yeah.
Evil Moo and the children shall lead.
But you know what? That Moo looked comfy though.
Yeah, I could rock it, especially after Thanksgiving.
That's the Moo you go to Walmart
Melvin
with if you want
Belli
really
was the man.
Yes, no, Bella. Very good. Nailed it. All right, so why would you do that? We're gonna start with me and Mama. Go for it.
Why would they do? So this is the part where I talk about why would they?
Yeah, why would they have?
Why is this episode a thing?
I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand why Sisko thinks that Dax wouldn't understand. Being as old as Dax is, that doesn't make any sense, especially because Dax did that role play playing the Romulan, and seems to have a pretty tight understanding of what was going to happen. So I don't think that that Dax would have been necessarily that upset. I understand that that Julian Bashir felt the need to say that he was going to put in a complaint, but no one will ever listen to that complaint at this point in time because they are at war and they do not care.
True.
Yeah, I just don't think that the Federation would have really given much of a whoop-de-whoop. Also, why Sisko being so shy about trying to bribe Quark? Like that was literally the first thing he ever did with Quark was like, hey, you stay on the station and I'll make sure that your nephew doesn't go to prison for 5 years. Because Nog was straight up going to be sent to Bajor for 5 years of hard time unless he decided to. So I'm like, why are you acting like you haven't bribed him before? You're acting real bashful. It's kind of silly. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Well said.
Oh, it was the reason why.
But why? Like, I don't understand why they would do
what
that.
I loved about the writing. Yeah.
I think that this was a beautiful episode, though. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead. I think we have a little delay.
Yeah, there's a slight delay.
Keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I ran out of stuff to say. I just I think that there was definitely like an explosive device in that quarters of that guy that Garrick set up. I think there was definitely an explosive device.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Garrick set him up. Set up everybody. That was his whole modus operandi. I'm going to kill all these people. And that's what I'm good at.
I'll go say hello to you later.
Oh, I love that.
I was
it was
like,
so chilling.
I thought it was kind of romantic.
I'll be along later to say hello.
Coming for a visit.
Wait. Wait, am I gonna die?
Should I be afraid or should I put on something sexy? I don't know.
It's just
maybe both.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Yeah, die in a sexy way. All right, Subrina.
Well, yeah, the thing that gets me with this is why Garrick is going to burn all the bridges. He says, if I call in this favor, I have to call in every favor. So yeah, he is like, look, you want me to do this? It's all on the table. I can never go back to Cardassia. I can't do anything else. This is it, buddy. So you better be in this for the long haul. And you can see this is like, I guess I can answer my own question. This is the beginning of Garrick realizing that he's got to do this to save Cardassia. He will burn all of his cards to get this done. And yeah, there's a bomb in the door and I'm going to kill this guy and I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to make a fake because if this doesn't happen now, it's all gone. And that one line when he said, I have to burn all the favors, I just went,
yeah, deep.
Garrick is in it for the haul. He's in it. He can't come back.
Yeah,
definitely can't come back. Jason,
why does this episode exist?
I was like, why?
Because I love this episode. I love the Dominion War arc, but there was somewhat of a pushback back in the day that that we couldn't have an episode of Star Trek about war. We could not have war on the show because the Federation was utopian and all of the officers are just paragons of virtue, which is great on paper, but let's face it, in practice, it's boring. Just look at the first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's absolutely paint-dryingly dull television. I think that this episode was really one of the first times, not the first time, but one of the first times we took a beloved, morally upright character and shoved him into the darkness because he had no other place to go. And as much as I abhor lying and murder and everything else, everything Sisko does is justifiable because it's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Far back.
Yeah. So I honestly believe that this is a top 5 episode of Star Trek. I think it's at least a top 20 episode of television ever made. Because this is the Snake in Paradise story, and the snake is Sisko, and I love it. I absolutely love it. This is definite pushback against the people who were like, Gene Roddenberry would have hated this. Gene Roddenberry might have hated it, but yeah, he wanted to give Troy 3 boobs, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. For me, I think that why they did this was to be
some here.
Since you're here, go ahead.
Oh, is the delay again? There's another captain that got shoved into the darkness, and we saw what he would do, and that's Archer. I'm going to get it back to Enterprise.
Oh, yes.
You got him going through some really shady things, and again, he's up against it. It's a war, and he stranded people, and he did anything he could to, get that whatever he was trying to get. Because I forget what the storyline was about, but there's another captain that admitted to what it did to him. How bad a toll it took on him. So we have, even after this one, we have another captain going through some real darkness. So Captain Archer, don't forget him.
But also Janeway went through a whole real bad year of darkness. I mean, it never happened, but it did.
The year of hell.
A year of hell.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And she got rough. Things got rough that year.
Well, we're also forgetting about Michael Burnham. Think about everything Michael Burnham went through during the Klingon War. So, yeah.
Like starting it.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Accidentally. If they
I
had
know it wasn't on purpose.
Okay, if they just listened to my girl, there wouldn't have been a war.
She
My
was
girl.
right.
Yeah, she was right.
That's right.
Yep.
She was right. Yeah.
She was right.
Yeah,
She just did it the wrong way.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was right.
Yeah. He was
We need a
right.
t-shirt that says Michael Burnham was right the whole time.
That's so true. That's so true. I gotta, of course, throw this one up. It's a fake. I mean, this actor does so many B-roll spots, but when he came in, and you have this amazing like buddy cop thing going on where he's just completely trashing Starfleet. That's because you guys suck, and they're building ships 3 times as fast, and he just continuously bashes to the point where you're like, you know what? Garrett killed him, but I mean, really though, do we care? You know what I mean? It was just like, here's the jerk.
Was fantastic, though. The actor was fantastic because he played him with such arrogance and just, I don't know. I enjoyed watching, Renek, was that his name? I just enjoyed watching this character and watching this actor who I have seen before. I just don't remember where I've seen him. He was in Star Trek before. And just, it's a fake. And of course, he's become a meme king ever since.
Yes.
He'll be holding up a birthday cake. It's a cake. Just those stupid memes. I just love them. It's a snake. They're gonna go on forever, and I love it.
Yes. And the one other thing that I absolutely loved was, of course, the Captain Brawl with Garrick when he goes into the tailor, and Garrick's like, "All right, listen, I had to kill those people. It was for a good reason, because when they go and they pick up that data rod, it'll be." Yes, it's fake, but it's corrupted because it got destroyed with the ship. And they're going to pick up a defective data rod, and they're going to go, well, it's messed up because of the explosion, so it's probably not fake. It's probably real. And it worked. So kudos to Garrick.
I just love that part of his speech just turned into, I ain't killed nobody, don't deserve killing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Kevin, this is Scott. Kevin, this is Scott. Do you hear me? Over now.
The Star Trek communicators with push-to-talk button.
Scott, this is Kevin. My bike is broken. Can you help me? Over. Yes, but send me a signal so I can find you.
Star Trek communicators with a range of 1,300 feet. Push button, twin warp sound, uses 9-volt battery not included. Star Trek communicators with belt hook, telescoping antenna, and twin warp sound from Mego.
Yes.
I want one.
Star Trek communicators did not have telescoping antennas, nor did they have warp sound. Scott, you freaking poser.
No, I hope my mom's awake still. Did you have one of those when you were little? Because I know it was mandatory that she watched Star Trek with the guy. My middle name is Miller Bishop. Oh wow!
I'm
People
sorry,
know
what?
my middle name. Yeah, my middle name is.
Isn't that a brand of beer?
Oh, why? I can't stand that. But yeah. So the person I'm named after made it mandatory because we actually have a bright future for African Americans, and he was an early black lieutenant for the Transit Authority in New York City. So it was like, you see, that's me reflected on TV. We're watching Star Trek, and that's why the family has watched Star Trek from the 60s. Sorry, I'm dating you, Ma. All the way to now. It is a beloved time pass on our realm, and that's because of my grandfather. All right, we're going to go back into the comments before we move on, of course. Let's see. Our friends, the Sci-Fi Queens. This is my favorite episode. It shows many sides of war and the choices soldiers have to make. Yes. Gene would have had, but Dax wasn't in a mini skirt. Yes, Gene would have probably not liked the war part so much, but he would have loved having Dax in a mini skirt. Didn't they did that in
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Trouble with Trouble.
Could you imagine if they did the mini skirts on Deep Space Nine? Could you imagine all of Kira's just intense scenes with her wearing a mini skirt,
like wearing the scant?
Yeah,
is that what they call it?
Yeah, the scants.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine Sisko in a scant?
Yep.
I bet he has a
she's like, yep, I can. Awesome. She went right. Yes. I sure can. Yes.
Yes, I can. Yes, I have.
Amazing.
Oh, my
Amazing.
emissary.
Oh, my emissary. The Doctor on Strange New Worlds 2. Oh, yes, because of Under the Cloak of War, he had to go through some murky waters there. Oh, he was doing some really messed up stuff.
I mean,
he kept his daughter in
murky?
a transporter buffer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wait.
He
was-
kept his, and then he like straight up. I mean, that was the he
straight up
like-
murdered him just because he didn't like him.
4 Klingon
Yeah.
generals. Yeah, he was like, I don't like you. That was like totally in vain.
Yeah. Yeah.
know.
Let's see. I love that Sisko was never afraid to punch someone. Yeah. It's Jake. It's Jake.
Oh, it's not Jake.
It's not Jake. Mom says, I'm pretty sure that the writers took inspiration from this PTSD suffered from the actual soldiers at the local VA hospital.
I could see
It's
that.
possible for sure. I could see that.
You know, and just only a few years previous to this in the timeline was like it's less than a decade since Wolf 359. People have a lot of like, because one of the things that I've noticed that since Wolf 359 that the Federation just doesn't think that mental health is like something that they really need to worry about for people ever, despite the fact that they've been in really horrible war-torn situations. Just stick them on the holodeck. That's the cure.
That's why we need the Klingon therapist. You will confront your demons, Patak. It's time for primal screaming. Ah!
We've all been through some kind of hell.
Yeah, we've all had years of hell at some point in our lives, so for sure makes us stronger. Ernesto's showing some love.
Not a ship of war.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't meant for war, why do we have torpedoes? Why do we have these big phasers?
No, it's not a ship of war. We have children on board.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's
that
like one of
won't
my
come
favorite
to bite us in the
quotes.
future.
This is not a ship of
One of your-
war. It sure as hell is.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't have that noisy behind toy. Your grandparents work nights. Oh, okay. I was always wondering because I saw that. I was like, oh, that's something my mom probably wanted though. For sure. Shaw had PSTD. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
PTSD.
for sure.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of our.
I mean, and he was
later.
most likely involved within the Dominion War as well.
Yeah.
He would have been like probably like a lieutenant commander during that time. Oh, there was something I noticed that made me laugh a little bit, and that was when Garrick is talking about the 10 good men. It made me think of Star Wars, and it was a very rare moment where Star Trek ever reminds me of Star Wars, because it made me think of the plans, that how many people died to get the plans into the hands. And that's what Garrick's like, just spin a story about how like all these people had to die to get these plans in his hands. And I was like, oh,
that was
like,
Rogue One. Rogue One.
Yes, Rogue One. That's it.
Many
Yeah.
Coffins died to bring us this information.
Yes.
What if Garrick just made that story up about all of his contacts being killed on Cardassia just because he already knew what he was going to do? He just wanted to rope Sisko into his plot.
Oh my God!
I think totally. Like he didn't. There's no way that Garrick would have burned those bridges on like 100%, like all of them. I'm sure he asked like one friend, but I don't think he asked all of them.
Yeah. Hey, you want to help me start a war? Heck yeah! I'll get me out of this Klingon prison. Okay, cool. Come on. It's all right. You're not going to blow me up, are you? Nah, I don't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore. Probably.
Totally blew him up. So you're telling me that was a missed opportunity, Jace?
No, I'm just saying that sometimes the episode doesn't need to spoon feed us information, and that it's okay to speculate about things every once in a while.
We're going to say that you said yes. I just love that.
I do have a missed opportunity. If you would have waited 2 seconds.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I just love that bumper.
I think that the plot and Sisko's motivation in this episode could have been seriously assisted by the inclusion of one character we already have on the show, and that's Jake. If you need to give a father reason to do terrible things, have a kid to protect.
Yeah.
There you go. Where was Jake?
Missed opportunity.
Where was Jake? Play it again.
Oh, Jake was actually in his room listening.
Oh my God. See, whenever he's recording that log, I just had this mental image of Jake and Nog up against the door just going.
Oh man.
Nog, what should we shh, he'll hear us. Let's get the hell out of here. I hear Beta Z is nice. Beta Z's been invaded. I know it's gonna be nicer than here.
Beta Z? Of all the places
of all the planets. Yeah.
Oh, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
I got another WTF. It was like, okay, here we go with Starfleet again. Starfleet security is trash, because we always say it's on Sci-Fi Sisters. How's the whole 10th fleet? You got all this shiggity going on. The whole 10th fleet goes off for maneuvers. In the middle of this, you got people dying, 20 at a time, and you go and do maneuvers, and you leave poor little Beta Z, which can't even mount an offensive,
Yes.
You should have known they were coming. You should have put out some feelers, and you should have read their minds and known they were coming. But when Beta Z goes down, now we're gonna go ahead and do this. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Because of Beta Z? I don't care about Beta Z. What good if they ever useless?
Really
care about
upset.
Beta Z.
That should be
Those Beta Z
I'm
people
really
are
upset we
always
never
causing
saw.
problems.
Mhm.
I'm really upset we never saw what Luoxana Troy was up to during this time. Because could you imagine just there's a knock on her door in the middle of the night. She comes up there wearing a nightie, and there's a muscle-bound man in the bedroom. Like, when are you coming back to bed, Luoxana? Shut up, shut up. Opens up the door. There's 3 Jem'Hadar there. She goes, what do you want? Who are you? I am Luoxana Troy. She just goes through her host. I just wanted to see a special episode, just that. Not even in continuity, just an episode where Luoxana Troy has to have a garrison of Jem'Hadar in her house, and she slowly just outwits them, and then eventually just melts their brains, because she's always had that ability.
They're lucky they
Yeah.
ate.
Did she have a baby?
She did have a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had a little kid at that time, so she was probably just being a mom with her chalice and her rings.
And the guy ringing the gong. Bing.
Yep.
Mr. Holm wouldn't have made it through the episode. He'd been the first one that got shot. Yeah, I hate
But I love Mr. Holm, but he wouldn't have made it. Beta Z that pushed.
Yeah, of all the planets, Beta Z. Who cares? I love that. Nobody cares about Beta Z.
Well, nobody cared about it, because after this episode, we never heard about it.
I think that's when you can lose.
Yeah.
They just wanted to name drop a famous planet. That's it.
Yeah, the occupation of Beta Z is not something that is in any memory
Side
alpha
canon,
articles. Nothing about the occupation of, which means that it must have been totally fine.
There was a book. There was a book because it had
to be something in the lit verse.
There was a book because it had Deanna
Gotta be a book.
On the front cover holding a Type 3 phaser, kind of like this, and it was called The Battle of Beta Z. So apparently the Enterprise E got involved and helped save the planet. I'm assuming Luoxana Troy was down there also. I don't know.
Wow.
And then there was a comic series also that dealt with the Dominion invading Beta Z, and they did it because the Beta Zs could detect changelings. They could read changelings whenever they were there. So that's why the Dominion went after them. Missed opportunity, because I
Well, you said it, so I do the intro for you.
So, yeah, it was a missed opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm not going to do it again.
My vibe has been killed.
No, don't say that, buddy.
I mean, I guess, they do have a really interesting intelligence group on Beta Z, because we saw them on lower decks.
Right.
So,
yes.
We know that they do have some form of intelligence, even if they don't have a military, which frankly, it kind of makes sense that they don't have a military and that they just have like really strong intelligence. Because they hurt you here.
Well, it wasn't working.
In your heart.
Right.
That's
It's really a shame that
They're
Beta Z
heartbreakers.
doesn't have a military, because I think they'd be darn good at it. You know, somebody shows up, we come in peace, head blows up. He didn't come in peace.
Yeah, we don't. He's a liar. I know he
Yeah.
was. You know, like when Loxana is like, "Oh, shut up! You have bombs in your thing."
Plus, they can talk to each other without anybody knowing. You know, come on, they would be good.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably all in Section 31.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Section 31 headquarters has got to be on Beta Z.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
that only makes some sense.
oh man.
I guess we'll find out when Michelle Yeoh's movie comes out sometime in the far, far future.
In the someday.
We'll get into that in the aftermath because there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. But right now, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get to our stupid Star Trek question.
It's time for stupid Star Trek questions.
Yes, and this question this week is, what exactly is Q? Oh, very clever, Worf.
It's a letter of the alphabet, as far as I'm concerned.
Sabrina, what is Q?
What's the question?
What is Q?
You're skipping.
Oh,
what is Q?
yes.
Q is a pain in the butt. That's what
Exactly.
that is like my least favorite characters in the whole franchise. Every time he
Wow.
turns up, I just go, "Oh my god!" I love John Delancey though. I love him. I love the way he plays this character, but Q was just not for me. Q's not a question I care to query.
Well done. The liturgy is amazing. All right, Mama, what is Q?
Q is a really bored person that is obsessed with Picard. Like he is like a Picard, like he's a Picard stan. Like he'll travel all through Picard's timeline just to tell Picard how great he is and to keep it up. When Picard's feeling bad about himself, he's like, why don't you go back in time and see what happened if you didn't get stabbed through the heart? Now be happy about you. Why don't you remember some sad things that happened in your life? The only purpose of this is so that you will learn to love yourself. Like Q is a Picard stan. And he is I mean, he's not omniscient, he's not omnipotent, but he is very powerful. And if he can hear me, deserving of respect. If he can't,
wow, down for Q, yeah. Jace, what is Q?
Okay, so I'm going to walk you through a fan fiction I wrote a few years ago, because I wrote a story, and at the end of the story, it wasn't my intention, but I explained what the Q were, and I thought, that's brilliant, Jason. Good job, Jason. So my question is, why the Q? Why did they call themselves the Q? What came before the Q? What comes after the Q? Well, obviously, what comes after Q is R. Who are the R? The R is us. The R is what we will evolve into. The Q is what came before us. And the F's, the G's, the H's are what came before them. So eventually we evolve until we become a letter of the alphabet. And then we evolve into something even greater than that. And we become to the Q what the Q are to us. And that is where we are headed. Oh. Yes, we become one with the great koala.
Ooh, I'm scared of disease.
They are very covered in
riddled.
Yeah,
they are riddled with chlamydia, and they have
nor.
Oh man!
Should we be talking about that on Aussie Day? Is that disrespectful?
Yeah, right. It's Aussie Day. Oh no! I always felt like the Q was the answer to Picard's Harry Mudd. Just a fun side quest that kind of puts them up against some of the worst things that they could possibly like bump into in the universe, but that type of thing. And it was just fun to do. And they got a really great actor to do that role in Star Trek Next Generation and all the iterations that we've seen him in, except for Deep Space Nine, which is why I picked this question, because we only saw him once in Deep Space Nine at all because he got knocked the F out and then that was it. So I absolutely love that. And that scene when Sisko punches Q.
Oh, and brought that Vosh with him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
because Sisko was descended from the prophet, so that was no ordinary punch. Q felt it and was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. He is part prophet because his mom was a prophet. So
his mom was a prophet. Yeah.
So I honestly think he scared the heck out of Q.
I think he did too.
Look at that.
Q doesn't like it when people are mean to him, like actively mean to him, because like even Janeway isn't totally mean to him. She just treats him like he's annoying, but she's not mean to him. Like, God, oh my God, that's another cat. She's not. She's not mean like the way that Guinan is mean. That's amazing.
They hate it when I do this.
But like Sisko is like, no, we're not doing this. I have read all the things about him, and we are not playing I am not playing these games. We are not going to be buddies. He is not going to want to come back.
There it is.
Because I think Sisko plays like a permanent game. The permanent game. Like he's not like until next time. He's like, this is never going to happen again.
He certainly played it with the Romulan ambassador in this episode.
Yeah, that was a one and done for that ambassador for sure.
Well, that's one guest star we'll never see again.
He was really rude though to Sisko. I just want to.
Yeah, he deserved to die for that.
Yeah. Everybody was on board for that death for sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, that is the stupid Star Trek question of the week.
Join us next week for more stupid Star Trek questions.
So we got to.
It's actually a good question.
Yeah, it was a good question. It brought some great dialogue here, but it's always fun. We got to talk about one of the best episodes of Deep Space Nine, and dare I say, in Star Trek altogether. I thank everybody for joining us this week. And we have one more thing before we jump into your folks' worlds, and that is a spin of the wheel of agony. Yes, we have upgraded the
no, they're
wheel.
all red.
They're all red now. They're all red. We have upgraded the wheel of agony to our new set. We got a curtain and our logo finally. So
nice.
Here we go. We are spinning the wheel. What will we watch next week? Are we ready?
Oh God.
I mean, that should be fun. That should be fun. That should be fun. Good time.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Oh, really? Yeah. So that's going to be
I don't
next
think
week.
I've seen this one in forever. Yeah, I don't remember this one very well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going back and watching that. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so
that's one of the
Subrina.
best TV actors ever playing that old guy.
Sabrina, tell us all about your amazing podcast that we will be hanging out again in Star Trek Long Island. We'll be saying hello and in the podcast room chilling, hopefully, and tell everybody about the Sci-Fi Sisters.
Hey, well, we are 4 Black women who talk about science fiction from our point of view, and we are getting ready to key off our 4th season the next few weeks. We're going to come in with a bang, get some real big surprises for you guys. People I can't tell you who we got, but I'm so excited. And don't forget that we now have our YouTube channel on Tuesday nights now. Every other week, we will be doing a live show. And it is just getting crazy. We will be at Far Points. We'll be also at the Urban Nerd Con in Atlanta in May, and we will be in Vegas in August.
Oh, fun!
Wow, you guys are. Oh, so I'll probably maybe I'll go back to Vegas. We'll hang out there too. Mama, tell us all about your. Yeah.
What am I up to? I stream on Twitch 3 times a week on the Calling Up Justice channel. Every Thursday, though, I do Trek Talk, and I talk about either a new episode of Star Trek, or I talk about I do a Trek rank where we take a random thing about Star Trek and then we rank it. Today we did a party yacht, and we got to pick the 5 people that we would want on a party yacht on a Star Trek party yacht. With the great house band, the Girardi Collective. They sound like a house band. But that is what I'm doing. So you can find me on Twitch. More information on callingupjustice.com.
So all of their links are going to be in the podcast notes and YouTube notes below. So be sure to click them right after the show is over so that you can or watch their wonderful episodes and learn more about them. They are both amazing, and I'm so honored to have you guys here on our show this week to talk about one of the best episodes of Star Trek ever. And Jace, you're doing some stuff too, right?
Thank you.
That's a lie. No. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, the Tiki Talk.
That's a lie.
Myself, Battlecat, Murder Bean. We're all there having fun, doing stupid things, and our friend VHS Jace. It's all under. That is the wrong YouTube address. What the heck?
Really?
Where did you even get
Jason Gaston? He gave it to me.
Oh my gosh! I'm going to put him over my knee. And
We've been playing. Wait, hold up. We've been playing this for the last 4 months, and you've never.
I just noticed that's the wrong address. No wonder I haven't hit 1 million yet.
Oh, sounds like it's a fake.
It's a fake. But yes, it's Jason. You know, I actually know where that came from because he messed up and gave that to me one time, and I'm like, "That's the wrong address." He's, "Oh, sorry, mate. I'll fix that. I've just been drinking a little bit." And I guess he just forgot to give you the. I'll give you the good one. But anyway, It's all under at Jason Roy Gaston. We try to have fun. We try not to be too stupid, and we always fail at both.
Nice. I am going to hop us into the aftermath.
Now, why don't you go back to your quarters? I'll be along shortly to say hello.
Yes, from this episode. The one thing I wanted to bring up this week was the amazing news. I don't know if you there we go. Well, okay. Well, I was lazy making those bumpers. That's our producer there.
Lazy's Australian for drunk.
Yeah. We got some really wild news today, and that is David Elson, Skydance Media, wants to buy Paramount and take it private.
I'm much happier with that than I am Warner Brothers Discovery getting their horrible mitts on it. Which, I don't trust Warner Brothers Discovery at all.
Subrina, you seem shocked.
I just don't understand how people have this kind of money.
Right?
That's just wow. You just say, I'm just gonna buy it. Ooh, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah. I mean,
it
would give us really good hope. Yeah, it would give us good hope for
I don't know. That's scary.
Yeah, it would give us big hope for the Section 31 movie. Makes me want to see the Section 31 movie.
A Star Trek movie with the Strange New Worlds crew.
That would be
Star
fun.
Trek movie with the Strange New World crew. A Star
Yeah,
Trek
that would
movie
be-
with the Strange New World crew.
Yeah, I think you want a Star Trek movie with the Strange New World crew. I believe that if they don't do it, it's That's right. It's a missed opportunity if they don't do it.
Star Trek
that was a
Legacy.
big- Star Trek Legacy. I would love that for sure.
I would
Um,
dig that.
What's
A
that?
Star Trek Legacy Strange New Worlds crossover
Oh, there you
with
go.
lower decks thrown in just so we can get cartoon versions of everybody.
And then Discovery just pokes their heads in and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
hi. And then they leave.
I would
Yeah,
love
there
to
you
see
go.
that.
I'll
That
take
would be
it.
fun.
I want to see.
I'll
I want
take
to see Rutherford and Tindy end up on Discovery. Why not?
Oh.
Let them have their live action romp.
There you go.
They should have a time traveling adventure. Yes.
Exactly.
That
They
would
were
be
left
fun.
behind,
Samantha
and that was not
and
cool.
Devana.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's so true. That is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of the Captain's Quadrant. And next week, we're going to be diving into a classic episode. It's going to be a lot of fun, so be sure to join us there. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, all those wonderful things. And besides sharing, specifically take this episode, share it with somebody that you really love, share it with somebody that you can't stand. And I'm sure there will be a happy medium between the both of them. We really appreciate our guest this week. It's been amazing to have you guys both on. Thank you so much. We want to throw to our sponsors, and that is the Console Room Podcast, which is on the 2BC network every Tuesday at 8 p.m. with the Chief Ernesto as he dives into all things Doctor Who. We are, of course, sponsored by Encapsulated International. If you want a replica of one of your favorite starships, you can do so. I might be getting a special starship that'll be behind me back there pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that on the podcast. But do reach out to them. They make amazing 3D print work and do different styles. So that's pretty amazing. Check out their website. And you can use the code Captain's Q for a 10% discount. Be sure to visit our producer, Pop Culture Spread, for movie and streaming news every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. in Australia time.
Oh, what a shock. He spelled his website address right.
And then check out our friends at the Scarif podcast, pure unadulterated nerdy talk from the Red 5 Network. Oh, that's Scuttlebutt. And then, check out Jason screaming about stuff on his channel. So that'll be pretty good because
that's accurate. That's not even photoshopped.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm a little drunk, apparently. Hold on.
Yes.
This happens at the end of every show. I don't get it. Come on.
Oh, wait. Wait, Jace just came back. I don't drink except for koala blood. And I believe I did say Joe that knew it months ago.
Oh, Joe. What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You've had it the whole time?
I've had it the whole time. I guess I gotta go look through that. Maybe I downloaded both and didn't realize.
After the show's over with, Joe's going to be sitting at home in the dark going, and so I lied. I sent them to the wrong address on YouTube. But I can live with it. I can live with it.
I can. Thank you again, everybody. And we will see you next week.
Computer, delete this entire log.